Hello there. Our final topic in Kingdom Fungi is black stem rust of wheat. Nasty stuff. A wheat farmer does not want to see this. Oh my goodness. Those are little fungal structures sticking out of the surface of the wheat stem. Not a happy sight at all for a wheat farmer. And so, what are we looking at here? Well, here's a picture from your book. What we were just looking at there was this stage right over here to the left, but we're going to take it from over this way and look at four different structures. You notice barberry. You say, wait a minute, I thought we were talking about wheat. Well, this is a life cycle, and I will not ask you to reproduce this entire life cycle in a life cycle diagram, but the life cycle actually has two hosts, barberry and wheat. And so it kind of goes around, first to wheat, then to barberry, then back to wheat, then back to barberry, and so forth. And so there was an effort in the last century to eradicate the common barberry plant. In the United States, millions of plants were destroyed, and unfortunately that did not eliminate the problem for a couple of reasons. One is this little circle right here. Those summer spores, they can overwinter. They can last through the winter and be there the next spring to infect the new wheat crop. And so even if you eliminate the barberry, there's this little small circle that still makes it possible for this to continue to infest the wheat. All right, so what are we going to look at? We're going to look at four structures. This one's on top of the barberry leaf. This one's on the bottom of the barberry leaf. These are summer spores on the wheat stem or leaves, and fall and winter spores up here on the wheat stem and leaf. And what will you need to know about them? You'll need to know their names. And we're going to go through these one at a time. Pycnium, Asium, Uridinium, and Telium. This one's on the top of the barberry leaf, bottom of the barberry leaf, on the wheat stem and leaf, wheat stem and leaf. You need to know the chromosome number of the cells involved and what time of year. I could ask you any of those types of things. So let's look first at a pycnium. What was that again? A pycnium. Pycnium. And where is it located? Top of the barberry leaf. And so a pycnium, all the cells in this picture are N, and they unite in what we've called in the past conjugation to form N plus N cells that form hyphae that grow down through the barberry leaf. So this stage is on what? Where are we at now? Top of the barberry leaf. This is the barberry leaf that we see around here, the barberry leaf, and this is a pycnium that is on the top of the barberry leaf. Every cell here is N, but they unite to form N plus N cells and N plus N hyphae that grow to the bottom of the barberry leaf. So what we were just looking at was one of these. It doesn't have the name on here, but we're going to call it a what? A pycnium. A pycnium. Then the hyphae formed by the union, the conjugation of cells here, grows down to the bottom of the very same barberry leaf and forms something called an asium. An asium. And so all the cells in this particular picture are what? They are N plus N, and they're called spores, asiospores. I won't ask you that term. Kind of breaks my little rule that spores have one haploid nucleus, but they're still haploid even though they have two nuclei. But the asiospores go floating off to infect the wheat. Let's look at an asium. First of all, we've got the spelling. It's on the bottom of the barberry leaf. All its cells are N plus N, and this is happening in the late spring. The late spring. And so here's one of those, it's kind of pretty if it wasn't so ugly, but it's on the bottom of what again? The barberry leaf, and these spores will go floating off to infect the wheat. Here's a picture up close and personal. Once again is the chromosome number of all these little spores here. It's what? N plus N. N plus N, absolutely. And asium. Okay, so we've covered barberry. Top of the barberry leaf here, bottom of the barberry leaf here. Pycnium on the top, asium on the bottom. I just used the singular form. I'm going to kind of stay with the singular form. The plural will be pycnia and acea, but I'll just call one of these a pycnium, one of these an acium. Keep things simple. We're off to the wheat now. These spores from the acea go over here to infect the wheat and create a mycelium inside the wheat, which gives rise to summer spores. So we're in the summer now, and we have things called uridinium. It's a uridinium. We'll call each one of these a uridinium. So we're over in the wheat stem and leaf, uridinium. All the cells are N plus N. It's summertime. And so here's one right now on a leaf. A leaf. You can see a vascular bundle here with the phloem and the xylem, but this is a sick leaf. It's got the fungal mycelium inside, and it's just popped off the upper epidermis here, kaboing, like popping off the lid of something. And here's all these uridinia. We'll call one of them uridinium. That are these are what give the wheat stem or leaf their rusty look. Here they are up close and personal. Each one of these would be called a uridinium, and the chromosome number of each cell is what? N plus N. What time of year? Summer. And this is what we're seeing right here. These would be the summer phase with lots of uridinia sticking out of the surface of this wheat stem. Finally, fall. We're talking about a telium. A telium, which to begin with is still N plus N. At some point it will fertilize, and we're going to have some diploid cells. We're not going to worry too much about this. I'm not going to ask you the chromosome number of these cells. We just know this is where fertilization takes place. But this is in the fall. In the fall. Again, each one of these we'll call a telium. It's on the wheat stem and leaf. This is where fertilization takes place. N plus N becomes 2N. We're talking about fall and winter now. And here's a picture of these guys right here. And so, wow, here we are. And a very unfortunate thing when a wheat farmer sees this on his wheat. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We saw all 4 of the stages. What's this one called? A pycnium. What's this one called? Acium. What are each of these called? A uridinium. What is each one of these called? A telium. What times of year? Spring, early spring, late spring, summer, and fall. And so we'll have to keep these in mind as we look at them, as we study them for the lab test. And this is what we've been talking about, black stem rust of wheat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this topic. All right, bye-bye.